Astra has undeniably grown in popularity in recent acts. According to Blitz, we can clearly see the upward trend of Astra's pick rate, and Bind falls into the category of most played maps for her. At higher competitive ranks compared to the end of episode 2, her standing on the agent ladder moved up considerably. Once people realized she was a bit too good, she had a 77% win rate in episode 3 act 2. So why do I think that making a guide for Astra on Bind right now is so important? Well, for one, I made guides on Fracture and Haven already, which you can check out here, so I'm just adding to the collection. And quite honestly, people seem to be enjoying these videos a lot more than anything else I put out. And I don't blame you, Astra is really good in the right hands and easily one of the best controllers next to Viper. So without further delay, let's jump into it. Starting over on A great default setup here for most situations is to throw down a smoke at showers, one-way smoke the box stack for A short, place a gravity well next to the box, another gravity well for a default plant, and an optional star for mid-site. Now the smokes here are self-explanatory, but let's look at how the grav well star is placed for A short. Notice that the edges of the circle touch the edge of cubby and corner of where the box stack and wall meet. This will ensure your suck will grab anyone playing in these common areas. Also keep in mind you can use the box stack one-way smoke as a recall star and make the gravity well star a smoke instead if you want more coverage in this choke point. The star on mid-site can also be used as a recall star to quickly move from behind triple box stack towards truck. For an alternative A setup, place your shower smoke, A short smoke, and grav well right in front. Place a star in the larger area of U-Haul and your default plant suck on the side of site. The smoke and gravity well in A short is good for sucking out anyone playing too close in the smoke and as a secondary delay when the smoke runs out. Make sure your concuss touches the two corners in U-Haul to ensure it hits anyone playing in there. Keep in mind the star used for default plant can be placed on either side of site depending on where you think a planter might be headed. Now let's dive into some retake scenarios for A site. Let's say you're playing B site and throw up two smokes for hookah and garden and a grav well under hookah. Your teammates call out an A push, so you recall your grav well star and begin to rotate. One option here is to throw down a concuss in U-Haul, smoke for A short, and grav well showers to prevent a peek while your teammates can defuse. An alternative to this is to grav well A short instead and smoke showers. Heading over to B now, we can start with this setup. Smoke hookah and garden, throw a grav well under hookah and edge your default plant suck and put a concuss in the back of hookah. The idea behind the grav well under hookah is to pull in anyone jumping out since they won't see the star and you can peek them from several angles including elbow, tube, and defender spawn. The concuss can be used while attackers attempt to take control and with a little communication, have an agent toss their damage dealing ability into the concussed attacker. Maybe have your Raze toss a nade through teleporter for an even deadlier combo. On an alternative setup, use your hookah and default plant suck as usual and place a concuss on top of tube. Now towards elbow, place a star on the top center of ticket booth which will be used as a one-way. Place an off-centered grav well star to the left of garden doorway. Allow me to explain. This one is not perfect by any means. It'll get the job done though. Now to make this one-way even more deadly, the off-center star here will suck in attacking players right into the sightlines of your one-way. But chill, can't the attackers just go around the left side of the gravity well and avoid it completely, you may ask? That's exactly what I want them to do. You see, this star is designed to force attackers to either commit through the gravity well or direct them into a closer angle near the one-way. When you're dealing with one-way smokes, the closer an enemy is to the smoke and the further away you are, the less visibility they'll have and the more you'll have. Astra can be quite manipulative if you use her stars in certain devious ways like this. Okay, moving on. Starting over on A site, let's imagine you have two smokes on showers and A short one-way. Recall that third star and head over to B. We have a few options here. We'll start with a concuss on top of tube, smoke for garden, and grav well for the elbow peek. The grav well can be used right after tapping the bomb since the attacker will be forced to peek and move towards site. You can peek them at this time and then add a little bit of pressure. Another alternative is to smoke hookah instead, grav well a common peek spot towards back of site, and concuss the close cubby. Keep in mind you can use any combination of these retakes as every situation will be a little bit different. If you'd like to place all your stars early round, you can use a setup like this. Again, keep in mind the other examples I've mentioned so far and rearrange these stars to keep enemies guessing. For an A dominant setup, place a smoke and showers and A short. Default plant suck on A site and smoke and hookah with a side of grav well underneath. Remember when rotating, try to have a star or two you can recall to bring to the other site for retake. For a B dominant setup, you can place a smoke and hookah, smoke and garden, default suck, and over on A, use a one-way smoke for short and smoke showers. Your teammates may ask for that one-way smoke, so you may want to hold off on double smoking B site. Mix and match as desired. Alright, pro tip, placing a star near the TP door can pull enemies towards the door, forcing them to open it. I would suggest placing it right outside the door so the enemy inside doesn't know they're about to get pulled in. Okay, on to attack. On an A short attack, place a concuss in cubby, smoke in U-Haul, and grab well right outside the U-Haul smoke. Smoke the box adjacent to the truck and default diffuser suck. The concuss will prevent any attackers from moving into cubby, and the smoke for U-Haul will block off that area. The grab well star will prevent them from playing close left. The smoke on truck is great for heaven since Astra's smokes are a bit too small to cover it. I'll talk about that more a little bit later. When playing through showers, we can place a default diffuse suck, grab well, smoke heaven, and concuss the area outside of U-Haul. Now this concuss can also be used as a smoke if your teammates are late to A after rotating from B. You'll need to wait for the smoke cooldown, which is why you may just want to use the concuss here. Now let's talk about the problem with Astra smokes. For certain areas in Valorant maps, the Astra smoke is a little bit too small. On this area of the map specifically, there are 3 ways you can smoke for heaven coming out of showers. You can smoke deep into the heaven doorway, smoke out on the heaven platform, or smoke site. All 3 of these give you some cover, however they all have glaring weaknesses. The doorway smoke allows players to play on the platform smoke cannot cover both the left and right side, and the site smoke only covers showers, exposing A short and has a hole on the left side allowing the heaven defender to easily spot a shower push. The best way to combat this issue is to smoke deep into the doorway and add a grab well, or come in through A short and smoke the box next to the truck. Alright, TED Talk over. Moving on to another attack alternative. Smoke further out of U-Haul and top of truck box. Concuss close right, grab well behind the truck, and place your default diffuse suck. This alternative has some strengths and weaknesses. The strengths are more coverage from U-Haul and heaven, giving you an easier sight take from A short, but don't allow you to easily take U-Haul control and require a bit more teamwork. If you want that suck to work behind truck, you'll need a well-placed molly, Sova dart, or Sova ult. Heading over to B long, we can start with a suck in garden, smoke B elbow, concuss back of sight, smoke defender spawn, and suck default diffuser. The grab well in garden will allow you to take B long control and push up towards B. The back of sight is a common spot defenders generally play, so forcing them out can allow you to push them quickly or use a raid nade or molly for early damage. Coming from B short, put a well in hookah, smoke defender spawn, concuss on top of tube, smoke elbow, and place your default diffuser suck. The grab well and concuss can be used interchangeably as both work well in these 2 spots. The star on top of tube can also be placed behind the tube as well. For the second alternative, place your 2 smokes at spawn and elbow, concuss cubby, and grab well right outside spawn smoke. I shouldn't have to remind you at this point to suck the diffuser. For an A dominant full map setup, start with your B concuss in hookah and smoke for spawn. Heading over to A, we have our U-Haul smoke, heaven smoke, and grab well behind the triple stack on site. You can mix and match as I stated previously, like placing the smoke deeper in U-Haul entryway, and take the grab well and use it in front of the U-Haul smoke. When taking B from long, start out with a smoke for U-Haul and recall your smoke at truck. Moving over to long, you can concuss or grab well garden, smoke elbow and spawn, and use your recalled smoke for the default diffuse spot. Alright guys, that about sums up some of the best Astra setups you can use on Bind. Hit that good looking sub button, drop a like, give me your best Astra suck pun in the comments, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yo, you're actually insane. Holy, that cam.